Hello friends, welcome to Tarun IAS. Before I start my address to all of you, I would like to introduce myself. I am A.K. Saxena. I am a former civil servant. I am a author of some books. I am a blogger, columnist, and I am also mentoring civil services aspirants for UPSC examinations for the past 10 years or so. During my entire career as a civil servant, I held various important positions in the Government of India, very challenging positions. But out of these, my most challenging assignment was when I functioned as Joint Secretary, Confidential, in the Union Public Service Commission, UPSC, from 1989 to 1996. And my job was highly secret. I was in charge of the secrecy and integrity of the examinations, both at the pre-examination stage as well as post-examination stage. By pre-examination, I mean the setting of question papers, moderations, and things like that, getting them printed also. And post-examination means appointment of examiners, valuation of answer sheets. So that was the job I held in UPSC. All of us are passing through very hard times of corona pandemic. But we are not alone suffering from this pandemic or impacted by this pandemic. The whole world is suffering. And this pandemic has impacted our life also hugely. Our lifestyle has changed. Our system of study has changed. The erstwhile practice of imparting education through classroom type of coaching is no more in existence. This has been replaced by the digital coaching, the virtual coaching, the online coaching. These are the different expressions used for this. And I'm sure it's going to pick up very fast. I'm not sure about the expiry date of the coronavirus. Some say it is going to be over by December, but I have my own doubts. It may take 1 year, 2 years. And apart from that, many parents, many students, aspirants may not be keen to attend such classroom type of coaching. They'll be more comfortable with virtual coaching. But one need not worry. I assure you, I know the amount of tension which all of you have undergone during the past 4-5 months. Suddenly there was a coronavirus. There was a total lockdown. All the coaching institutes in Delhi and outside were locked up. The aspirants who were staying as in guest houses were also threatened with eviction notices by their landlords. And I can imagine, if I put myself in their shoes, I can imagine the amount of agony, the trauma that they might have undergone during this period. The whole world was affected, as I told you just now. The UPSC also was affected. They found it extremely difficult to hold the examination system as it was going on. The dates of various exams were rescheduled. Some candidates who were leftovers from the previous stage of interview process were interviewed from 20th of this month, 20th of July, and hopefully this interview will be over by 31st of July, and the final results of the civil service main examinations 2019 will be declared in all probability in the first week of August. I hope there is no problem. During these hard times, we have created a new venture called the Tarun IAS, which I can tell you from my experience of 10, 12 years is going to create wave all around, and it has all the facilities available for both for online coaching as well as classroom type of coaching. I hope we will get a very good response from all over the country. If any aspirant has any query, the same may be directed, the same may be forwarded to us, and we will ensure that it is duly responded by our experts. For answer writing, for prelims, for instance, we will have test series on weekly basis, and these will be duly evaluated by us, by our experts, and every week it will be done, and when the course is over for the prelims, these will be there will be an examination, a comprehensive examinations covering the entire syllabus. I would like to mention again that the UPSC aspirants were the worst affected by this pandemic. There was complete chaos. I was a part of that, and I was in the midst of mock interviews, and there was complete chaos, and the candidates were very keen to go back to their native places. There was a mass migration, but no transportation. There was no transportation arrangement. Everybody was taken by surprise. And the result was that the civil services aspirants found themselves highly confused, highly confounded, highly depressed. It was a total lack of confidence because they were going against time. Till then, there was no change in the schedule of UPSC examination. Lot of mood swings I saw in some of the candidates. I always used to encourage them not to worry, and in the meanwhile, considering the gravity of the situations, the UPSC in its wisdom decided to postpone the various examinations because there is a ripple effect. If prelims is changed, if the interviews of the previous year's exam is changed, then the prelim also was changed. Now, the prelim is going to take place on 4th of October, and mains for 2020 is going to be held on 8th of January. I am not too sure whether the UPSC will be in a position to meet these deadlines because we are living in a state of uncertainty. I am not sure whether the corona will be over, corona impact will be there. There will be impact. If the war breaks out, there will be a different kind of impact on all of us. So, to overcome this crisis, I have come to help you, to share with you my experiences in the UPSC. My I have not brought any jari booty or any what you call magic wand. My only mantra, which was given to all of us by our Honorable Prime Minister, was Atmanirbharta. I think that is one thing which we have to practice, because you will have no coaching facilities. You have to depend upon them, upon yourselves. You have to make your own notes. You have to attend online coaching as much as possible. So that is the only, Atmanirbharta or self-reliance. That is the only mantra which I can give you. Normally, for those who are going to appear, because the viewers will have a medley of various kind of aspirants. Those who are first timers, they have never appeared in these examinations in the past, or those who have appeared once could not qualify. Those who have appeared in the interview recently, they might qualify, they might like to improve. So all these factors will contribute to your success. Apart from this, I will like to give you some short macro points. I'm not going into the details of various papers, various schemes. I'm sure all of you must have seen the notifications, the syllabus of the papers, optional papers, general studies, like that. I'm very sure that you are aware of that. There are many institutes which might be starting this classroom type of coach, not classroom, I'm sorry, who will be attending this digital coaching, online coaching. They must choose the institute with great care. You see, there are some institutes, I keep writing in the print media as well as internet media also. There are certain institutes, based on my experience, who try to enhance the catchment area of students by bringing in toppers of the previous examinations, by some dignitaries, celebrities who have nothing to do with civil service examinations. Please don't be misguided. Toppers are okay, because toppers will be sharing their experiences with you. You should certainly uh, gain from their experiences. So there is nothing to say against the toppers, because they advise you in right earnest and we must listen to them. But the coaching institute must be chosen with great care. You must ensure that the institute has a competent faculty. Some institutes hire some roadside teachers, which is not appropriate, and you should not fall prey to their marketing gimmicks. Please be very sure that you choose the right institute. Before I say anything further, I would like to bust some myths that go with this civil services examination. For instance, one of the myths that is very commonly heard among the civil services aspirants is that This is a very difficult examinations. I agree with that. This is definitely the most difficult examinations in the country, or for that matter in the world. But it is not, it's formidable, because it's formidable in the sense that the number of candidates who write the examination is very large. So to that extent, the number of candidates who initially apply for the examination is as large as 11 lakhs, and out of that only 4 to 5 lakh candidates actually appear in the exams, and in the prelims examinations, and out of that about 11,000 candidates are filtered out and declared qualified to appear for the main examinations. And then this is how, this is as you are aware that the civil service examination is a 3-stage examinations. We have got the prelims examinations, which is a purely qualifying examinations. In other words, the marks that one gets in the preliminary examinations are not counted in deciding the merit order of that particular candidate. This is followed by, after filtration of the number of candidates, the next stage is the main examinations. It has got large number of papers. There are so many scheduled languages. 22 languages are there, as contained in Schedule 8 of the Constitution of India, like Hindi, Tamil, Telugu. So these are there, one can opt for it. And then a large number, about 24 optional papers are also there, which has got 2 parts, part 1, part 2. So one has to appear in all the examinations at the main examinations, and the marks obtained in the main examinations are counted for determining the interim merit order list. What I want to say is that on the basis of the candidates, the aspirants are declared qualified for interview. And the interview, it is about 2.5 times the number of vacancies. That gives you the number of candidates that are called for interview. Interview also is a competitive part of the examinations. In other words, the marks that one gets in interview are added to the marks that one gets in the main examinations. There is a CSAT paper also that is qualifying. You don't have to worry about that, but you must work for it. During my tenure in UPSC, I am able to recall a few cases, although very rare, but few cases were when a person got very high marks in the written mains examinations, but he could not qualify the qualifying papers. It was 20% of the total. Now it is 25% or so. So he could not be declared successful for the interviews. So one must not ignore the qualifying paper of the main examination. I remember when I wrote the civil service examination in the year of the Lord 1970, 1970. I think none of you was born at the time. The pattern of the examinations was very different. The plan was very different. There used to be lower papers, higher papers, and there was a minimum percentage, if I remember correctly, that one was required to attain in the interview, so that we have a lot of weightage was given to the interview. Basically, I believe in the holistic preparation for the civil service examination. One has to prepare for the prelims, devote some time for it, but don't ignore the mains. Some people do not focus on the main examinations. My advice to all of you would be that all the 3 stages must be prepared together. For the prelims, one has to prepare it thoroughly, and then in between you should also study the main papers prescribed for the main examinations. You should have a very good, powerful writing skill, and one should also have a very good oral skill. This is an examination of communication skill. One should have a very good writing skill. One should have a very good oral skill. Communication ability is very, very important. When a person becomes a civil servant, the knowledge that one gathers from the books is not so important. It is the convincing ability of the civil servant that matters a lot. And then one must have nerves of steel also. One must have a independent set of mind. One should learn to say no. If you don't agree with certain viewpoint, learn to say no. This, I think you are getting me. If you just say yes sir, then you will end up as an accidental bureaucrat, if I may put it. A true bureaucrat is one who doesn't take orders from the superiors, means his superior bosses in the hierarchy, executive hierarchy, and the political class. One is not supposed to take down orders and implement it. No. One should have the guts to say no. That is possible only when you have the conviction, you have the guts. I was telling you about the myths that goes with these examinations. I mentioned a little while back that people consider it as a very difficult examination. No doubt it is difficult. It is formidably difficult, but it is achievable. This is, you must learn. It is achievable. One can achieve. We have all achieved it. And it is not necessary that one should have done very well in the university examinations. Some people suffer from this kind of complex that, oh, I am only a second divisioner or a third divisioner in the university examination. How would I do it? I can confess to all of you that I never got first division, never ever in my career in the university days. I never got any first division or first class. I always got second division. But I worked very hard. In '69, I passed out my post-graduation from the University of Delhi in chemistry. And in 1970, I appeared for the examinations. And lo and behold, I was able to make it in the very first attempt. You may call it luck, you may call it hard work or whatever. But I was able to make it. The reason why, the point that I want to convey to you is that don't have any kind of complexes about your performance in the university examinations. University examination is entirely different from the competitive examination held by the UPSC. Please do remember that. University examinations, you aim at achieving first class, or something of that sort. But in the UPSC examinations, there is no such first class or second class. You have to be the best of the best. There is no first division, there is no second division in UPSC examinations. The cutoff is decided on the basis of the vacancies. Vacancies positions is very, very material. If the vacancy position, when I wrote in 1970, the vacancies were used to be 300 or so. You can imagine. It was a very difficult task to get through. And we had no coaching institute. We had no libraries. So, despite all these roadblocks, people used to get into civil services. You must know that civil services examinations does not mean only IAS. It consists of some 24 services like Indian Administrative Service, Indian Foreign Service, Indian Police Service, Indian Postal Service, Indian Information Service, Indian Audit and Account Services, Indian Revenue Services, Income Tax, Indian Revenue Services, Custom, and so on and so forth. These are all specialized services, unlike the IAS. The services which I mentioned to you after IAS are all specialized services. For instance, an income tax officer will only deal with income tax. There is a highly specialized training for him. Similarly, for information service officers, there is a different pattern of teaching, of training. Coming back to the myths I was mentioning about to you, some people have a very misplaced perception that a civil services aspirant is required to study for 17 to 18 hours a day. It's all rubbish, I can tell you. It's all rubbish. 8 to 9 hours of study, I studied for 8 to 9 hours that a day, is sufficient enough, provided it's a quality time that you devote to your studies. And you should have a very focused study. For having a focused approach to the preparation, it is very, very important to have a good health. I am telling you all these points which nobody will tell you. It is very, very important to have good health. Eat good food, nutritious food. Keep yourself hydrated with juice or water, or whatever it is, because that will keep you fit. Do yoga, Anulom Vilom, that will give you a correct focus, and your memory, your concentration power also will increase automatically. This is very important. And in these days of corona pandemic, it's all the more necessary. You must maintain your immunity. Very, very important. Please don't move around, and whatever guidelines have been laid down by the government, one must follow this. Wear the mask. Don't move around without any work. Go out only when it is really essential. And don't take any junk food. It will spoil your health. It will spoil your concentration also. You have to change your lifestyle. You have to come out of your comfort zone. It's very important. In the universities, You are very comfortable with your lifestyle. Study whenever you feel like. Don't study whenever you have. This you have to give up, and you have to be very committed. Very committed. If I may put it in Hindi, आपको अपने अंदर एक जज्बा, एक जुनून, एक जोश उसको पैदा करना पड़ेगा. From day one, not from during the examination, from day one. Even before you start preparing for the examinations, take care of your health. Take care of your speaking ability, your conversational ability. It will help you in the interview. It will help you in the long run when you become a full-fledged civil servant. Don't think that becoming a civil servant will give you, आपको एक घोड़ा गाड़ी मिल जाएगी, एक कार मिल जाएगी, chauffeur driven car मिल जाएगी, and you will be very happy. You will have lot of authorities which you may use or misuse. So this should not be the approach. आप कितनी मदद कर सकते हैं, if you have a helpful attitude towards the society at large, that is the essential qualification needed for a civil servant. You will be facing a lot of challenges as a civil servant. I have served for 36 years. I know what kind of challenges I faced at the hands of the political class, at the hands of my superiors, at the hands of the members of parliament, legislators. Difficult time. आपको बहुत इसके लिए convincing ability को बढ़ाना पड़ेगा. You have to be respectful. मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि आप कभी-कभी कुछ आजकल क्या है हो रहा है, the kind of, I am not in a position to pass any judgment on the present day bureaucracy. But when I joined in 1970, I worked under some ICS officers and I learnt a lot from them. They used to take firm stand. They never followed the orders of the superiors, whether it is chief ministers or minister or whosoever it is, unless the order is in line with the rules, the law of the land. That was very important. That quality is missing very badly. Now, in a majority of cases, I am sorry, I have to say this, maybe I am wrong, but in a majority of cases, the civil servants are ever ready to implement the orders of the political class, because they have a fear psychosis that if we don't follow the order, they will be transferred. There is no protection given to them. So this has to be, for this, again I am stating it at the cost of repetition, that you have a very independent mind. Please learn to say no. If you don't agree with a person, and say, I am sorry, I do not agree, and give reasons for that. Just simply saying no doesn't mean anything. You have to give very convincing, substantive reasons. मैं कुछ बात आपसे करना चाहूँगा, because the number of candidates, as I stated in the beginning, is very large. You have to compete with so many candidates, and you will very often have mood swings. कभी आप sorrowful हो जाएंगे, कभी आप happy हो जाएंगे. This kind of, and some people I have seen, they develop bipolar disorders also. Psychiatric cases, this you should not do. आप अपना मनोबल जो है, confidence level बढ़ा के रखिए हमेशा. During the examination, before the examinations, you should maintain your confidence level. This is very, very important. Time, speed, and time management and speed management are two very important factors which will help you throughout your life. देखिए इस एग्जाम में सिविल सर्विसेज में for the prelims you have got 100 questions and you have got limited time. How many questions? There is a deduction of marks also So you have to be very thorough about the answers. If you are very sure about the answers, only then you take it and circle it. And if you are not very, then don't. But you are always free to make very intelligent, smart guesses. You can still, earn some marks for it. But you must remember that it involves negative marking, deduction of marks. Please read the newspapers daily. आजकल तो न्यूज़पेपर्स लोग कम पढ़ते हैं because of corona fear. They say that it carries the virus. So then make use of the newspapers on the internet. Read them, read the editorial, and read as much as possible. If you are able to converse fluently, it doesn't mean anything unless your speech has got substance. And you should be very brief. You should not be verbose in your answers. Because all of you are fresh from universities, there is a propensity to use slangs in your speeches, which is highly undesirable. Please forget this. Unlearn whatever you learned in the university. Please unlearn that dirty habits. Please never use slangs. You are not supposed to use slangs in the writing also, in the interview also. Please forget about it. And then improve your writing skill. For that, you have to read as much as possible. And whenever you write something, I think it will be very necessary to write at least 30 to 40 essays for the entire course, because there is a paper on essay also. 250 marks, two parts, 125 each, and there is a limitation of words also. And writing essay also is an art. There should be a free flow of ideas. There should be an introduction. There should be a body of the essays, and finally the conclusion. Please don't take extreme positions while writing essays. It should be a balanced exercise. And never use any cliches. We are very fond of using cliches. You know what are cliches? Please take down, look at the dictionary. Cliches you should avoid. And you should not use oxymorons. I hope you understand the meaning of the word oxymorons. Never use these things. Oxymoron means, when you use a phrase containing two words which are opposite to each other. For instance, if I write that Mr. So-and-so is brutally honest, these two words are opposite to each other. They contradict each other. You can't be brutal, you can't be honest also. But you're not supposed to write in Shakespearean English. You're not supposed to. It should be a simple prose, simple sentences, short sentences, not long sentences, and limited words. And choose your topic for essays very, very carefully, on which when I was in UPSC, the writing should be very legible, very, very important. If you start scribbling on the answer books as you used to do in your university days, it will make your life hell in the competitive examinations. Writing should be very legible, clear, because I have personal hands-on experience of seeing the answer books, how these used to be evaluated by the examiners. I used to ask the professors, "Sir, what do you look forward? What do you look for in the answers written by a candidate?" He said it should be clear, everything, and in essay paper particularly, all paras should be organically linked with each other. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने एक पैरा में कुछ लिख दिया, दूसरे में उसको कॉन्ट्रडिक्ट कर दिया, ऐसा नहीं है. आप पहले इंट्रोडक्शन दीजिए छोटा सा, उसके बाद बॉडी में आई थिंक फॉर दैट आई विल हैव टू टेक स्पेशल क्लासेस. सो अभी मैं ब्रीफ में ही आपको बता रहा हूँ बिकॉज टाइम इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. तो वो देखिए आपको, और बैलेंस लिखिए. डोंट टेक एक्सट्रीम पोजिशंस. इफ यू आर राइटिंग समथिंग अबाउट say some historical theme. When I talk of history, you mean, there is a left-leaning academics, there are right-leaning academics. You know about it. JNU walas are considered to be left-leaning academics, and the others are right-leaning. तो आप देखिए इन दोनों में झगड़ा होता है हमेशा. तो कोशिश करिए कि आप इफ यू आर ए राइट लीनिंग देन लेफ्ट लीनिंग को भी आप पूरा सपोर्ट उसमें भी दिखाइए, एंड व्हाई यू डोंट एग्री विद इट उसको लिखिए, बट डोंट कंडेम एनीथिंग. बैलेंस्ड अप्रोच इज द एसेंस ऑफ एसे राइटिंग. मैंने आपको बता दिया राइटिंग शुड बी वेरी लेजिबल, वेरी वेरी लेजिबल. इन द केस ऑफ एसेज bullet points should not be resorted to. Bullet points are prohibited in the case of essay writing, but in other answer writing in optional papers, due to paucity of time, you can always make bullet points. Underline the idea. अगर पैरा है तो सब पैरा बनाइए, लेकिन बुलेट पॉइंट में बनाइए. तो उससे क्या होगा, एग्जामिनर्स को, जो प्रोफेसर्स लेवल के होते हैं सब एग्जामिनर्स, दे आर नॉट junior examiners, they are very very, I used to interact with professors, vice chancellors who used to be examiners for this. So they always used to appreciate the content of a answer and the writing also. Sometimes they used to come rushing to me saying that, can you read what this gentleman has written? I could not read it because it was so shabbily and in a very slanted manner they used to write. It is not, and you will get zero. Naturally, you will not get zero, at least you will get only 1 marks. Your examiners will not be able to get you. ठीक है ना. यूनिवर्सिटी में आपको पता है everything is anonymous in these prelims as well as in the main examinations. The examiner doesn't know you. The machine doesn't know you, optical scanner. You don't know him. Everything is in anonymity. They know your character, your personality only through your writing. ठीक है. But in the case of interviews, इसमें साक्षात्कार होता है, 1-to-1, 1-on-1 session is there. तो वो anonymous नहीं हो सकता. उसमें आपकी personality डेवलपमेंट कैसी हुई है, पर्सनैलिटी के जो ट्रेट्स हैं, योर लेवल ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. योर एबिलिटी टू आंसर लॉजिकली इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. कन्वर्सेशनल एबिलिटी, दिस इज ऑल. व्हेन आई टेक some session on interview technique, I will certainly elaborate more. I have written books on this. So this is how one has to एक एनसीईआरटी बुक के ऊपर आपको बहुत तवज्जो देनी पड़ेगी. एनसीईआरटी जब आप कोई भी पेपर स्टार्ट करते हैं, बिफोर स्टार्ट डूइंग इट फ्रॉम टुडे, बाय ऑल दी एनसीईआरटी बुक्स. आप अपना पेपर जो भी चूज करेंगे बड़ा केयरफुली करिए, ऑप्शनल का पेपर्स. अगर आपने ट्राई टू, इफ यू हैव डन बीए और एमए इन साइकोलॉजी, उसी को करिए, बिकॉज यू नो द बेसिक्स ऑफ साइकोलॉजी. उसको थोड़ा और आपको पढ़ना पड़ेगा कंपटीशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, तो उसको यूज करिए. सम पीपल आर देयर, आई फाइंड दैट many of them, they economics students, they go in for some other humanities paper like psychology, philosophy. एक बड़ा गलत फहमी है कैंडिडेट्स के बीच में कि some papers are marks fetching and some papers are not marks fetching. This is absolutely rubbish. Please don't go by that. What is needed is clarity of thought. Conceptual clarity is very very important. और आप उस पर ज़्यादा ध्यान दीजिए. जो अपना ऑप्शनल पेपर है उसको चूज करने में अपना as far as possible, in 90% cases, please go in. Engineers normally go in for humanities stream. They are intelligent, so they make up And in humanities stream, there are some papers which can be prepared in 6 months. There is something flawed in the system also. I agree with that. So something should be done about it. I leave it to the UPSC's wisdom to do it. And ग्रामेटिकल मिस्टेक्स नहीं होने चाहिए. आप जो भी लिखे, मैं ऐसे की बात कर रहा था, कोई भी हो, आपका क्वेश्चन पेपर ऑप्शनल का है, ग्रामेटिकली इंग्लिश में ही बात कर रहा हूँ मैं हिंदी का पेपर अगर आप इफ योर मीडियम ऑफ आंसर्स इज हिंदी और तेलुगु और तमिल, इट शुड बी वेरी करेक्टली ग्रामेटिकली करेक्ट. और आपका ये जो इम्प्रेशन है कुछ लोगों में कि people who write in languages other than English, they normally are not able to do well. This is also wrong. I can assure you with all the emphasis, because I have handled this thing in UPSC, and nobody will tell you all these things because nobody nobody has handled all this. In no coaching institutes, people have handled it themselves. There's so many things which I know, but I can't share it with you. I have to keep the dignity of UPSC. तो उसमें आपको बहुत ध्यान करना पड़ेगा. आप हिंदी की है तो हिंदी का न्यूज़पेपर आप जो है वो पढ़ना शुरू करिए. जो भी है उस पर ऐसे लिखना है तो उस पर लिखिए आप. इसी तरह तेलुगु का लिखिए, तमिल का लिखिए, उर्दू का लिखिए. तो वो बहुत ज़रूरी है आपके. और आई थिंक अगर आपका कोई क्वेश्चन है तो आप बेशक फॉरवर्ड करिए हमारे को. हमारे एक्सपर्ट्स हैं, मैं खुद आपका जवाब दूंगा. आई विल बी वेरी हैप्पी टू हेल्प यू. एंड आई एम गोइंग टू assure you that you will have a very good association with this institute. मैं कोई इस इंस्टीट्यूट का I have come here only to help you with my experience. तो आप रखिए, अपनी हेल्थ का बहुत ध्यान रखिए, because corona is still there and I don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. Security scenario is also very bad in the country. What will happen, nobody knows. Whether the government or the UPSC will be able to conduct the prelims examinations for this year on 4th October, let us hope for the best. I have my doubts on that, because now they also have to maintain physical distancing among candidates. It's not so easy. They will have to hire some more venues. So all these things, all told, I think आप अपने को कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल को बहुत रखिए और डोंट फॉल प्रे टू मूड स्विंग्स. अभी आप ज़्यादा बात नहीं कर सकते अपने फ्रेंड से, बट सोशलाइज करिए आप. अभी ये सोशलाइज करने का तो बिकॉज ऑफ कोरोना इज नॉट पॉसिबल. नॉर्मली आई एडवाइस aspirants to socialize with the friends so that their conversational ability improves. But now I can't tell you. Take all precautions. हेल्थ इज वेल्थ. जान है तो जहान है. और अगर आप एक दफ़े कोरोना से पीड़ित हो गए तो आपका 1 महीना खराब हो जाएगा. टाइम इज़ वेरी एसेंशियल. और आप ये भी सोच लीजिए कि जो वैकेंसीज हैं ईयर आफ्टर ईयर, देयर नंबर इज dwindling. It is decreasing. Now government anytime can hire joint secretary level officers or director level officers from the open market, not through UPSC. They have to simply appear for an interview in UPSC, but they don't have to go through these 3-stage process of civil service examinations. So all these things are going. So you must be ready for that. Things will be becoming difficult as we go around, but don't lose heart. You will make it. अपना जज्बा जो है वो बहुत मजबूत रखिए. जुनून को पैदा करिए अपने अंदर. घबराने की जरूरत नहीं. You will make it. I think on this note, मैंने आपसे जिक्र किया था what the quality of civil servants which are being recruited by the UPSC. I don't mean ill will to anybody. I wish them, they're all intelligent people. And लेकिन फिर भी मैं आपको वार्न करता हूँ, कॉशन करता हूँ कि आजकल का जो निज़ाम है एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, वी ऑलवेज टॉक अबाउट गवर्नेंस, गुड गवर्नेंस। मैं कहता हूँ कि आजकल का निज़ाम जो है वो बहुत बिगड़ा हुआ है, बहुत बिगड़ा हुआ है। जाम उन्हीं को दिया जाता है जिन्हें पीने का सलीका नहीं। आपने आपने एमए किया है इकोनॉमिक्स में, आपको ऐसी जगह लगा देंगे, हेल्थ में लगा दिया आपको। यू गेट माई पॉइंट। इसी तरह आपको बहुत ध्यान से दिया जाएगा। और मैंने एक जगह आपको ये भी कहा था कि यू मस्ट लर्न टू से नो, इट्स वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। ऐसे नहीं कि मंत्री जी ने कह दिया और पोलाइटली कहिए, मंत्री जी ने कह दिया कि आपको ये काम करना है, ये टेंडर है, आपको इसको एक्सेप्ट करना है। आप कहिए कि सर ये तो नहीं हो सकता, ये तो थर्ड लोएस्ट है या फोर्थ लोएस्ट है, इसको तो ये लोएस्ट नहीं है, तो इसको नहीं दे सकते। बट मंत्री जी इज मंत्री जी, ही हैज गॉट हिज यू नो, उनका अपना विचार है, उनका अपना। इसके बारे में यही कहूँगा कि मुझे एक अकबर इलाहाबादी की नज़म याद आती है कि कायदा जो है वो बहुत बिगड़ा हुआ है। आजकल का गवर्नेंस का कायदा बहुत बिगड़ा हुआ है। कायदा ये है कि आप अपने होठ सिले रखें। कायदा ऐसा है आजकल कि आप अपने होठ सिले रखें। हुक्म ये है कि हर हुक्म, हर बात आपको जुबानी कही जाएगी। मेरा आप मतलब समझ गए होंगे। मैंने आपको कहा था कि ना कहना सीखिए। आप देखिए आजकल की जो पॉलिटिकल क्लास है, आपको हुक्म कभी राइटिंग में नहीं देंगे, वो आपको ओरली बोलेंगे। उनके पास टाइम नहीं है, वो टेलीफोन पर बोलेंगे इसको करिए, आपको करना है। अगर नहीं करेंगे तो ट्रांसफर, आपके ऊपर एक तलवार लटकी हुई है। तो आपको इसमें कैसे उसको जाना है, ये आपको, जैसे मैंने इंडिपेंडेंट पर्सनैलिटी आपकी कही थी, ट्राई टू से नो, वो बहुत ज़रूरी है। और आपने जो भी मंत्री जी कह रहे हैं या आपके सेक्रेटरी या चीफ सेक्रेटरी कह रहे हैं, वो भी तो मंत्री जी के कहने पे कहेंगे। नो सिविल सर्वेंट इज करप्ट, they are made corrupt by the political class. I am sorry, I have worked with the political class, but this is a fact of life. कुछ ब्लैक शीप भी है जो कि they get attracted to unethical practices. This must be avoided. Ethics is very important. आपको ethics का पेपर GS4 में पढ़ाया जाता है, आप पढ़ते हैं उसको, लेकिन ethics एग्जामिनेशन से पहले इतना ज़रूरी नहीं है जितना कि एग्जामिनेशन के बाद। जब आप सिविल सर्वेंट बन जाए तो एथिकल वैल्यूज़ की इंपॉर्टेंस आपको तब पता लगेगी कि कितनी ज़रूरी चीज़ है। वही चीज़ आपको बचा सकती है। अगर आपने मंत्री जी का ऑर्डर मान लिया तो नेक्स्ट डे यू विल बी होल्ड अप, यू विल बी अरेस्टेड बाय द CBI। ये अरेस्ट होने वाली बात मत कहिए आप बड़े। और अगर आपकी ट्रांसफ़र होता है तो होने दीजिए, कोई डरने की बात नहीं। ये हो रहा है आजकल, हर जगह हो रहा है। Every 2 months people are being transferred just because he did not give proper respect to the ministers or member of parliament। बहुत हो रहा है, हमने तो झेला है ये बहुत कुछ। तो इन सबको आप नज़रअंदाज करिए, लेकिन पोलाइटली उनको नो कहना ज़रूर सीखिए। इसी में आपकी शान है, इसी में आपकी डिग्निटी है। आपको डिग्निटी अपने ऑफिस की मेंटेन करनी है। विश यू all the very best and thank you very much.